Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Noelle and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel, and today I have a very belated book box review for you. Not because the box has just been sitting on my TBR pile for a really long time, although that does occasionally happen, but because there have been many shipping delays. As some of you know, Authentic Books has kind of had some shipping delay issues, kind of had some big shipping delay issues for a little over a year now. I think the problems really started towards the end of 2023. That's why we had a delay in our book club. We found other boxes to use for last year, and so far we already have boxes selected for the first 2 quarters of this year. So if you're interested in joining our quarterly book club, that's over in the Nobot Nook, and we'd be happy to have you. You can still join in for the first 2 reads of the year. I am hoping though that Authentic Books, I know that when they give us shipping updates, I think they're always overly optimistic. I honestly think that they should be able to get caught up by mid-year this year, and then I might be comfortable using them again for our book club. But what I'm really hoping is that as they get caught up, and they're kind of working from front to back on all of the outstanding boxes, is that they stay on time with the shipping for 2025. So they usually ship the following month, so the January boxes usually go out at the beginning of February. So that is what I'm really hoping, is that as they're getting caught up on all of 2024, they will also just be shipping pretty much on time for 2025, and I think that would give a lot of subscribers and potential subscribers a lot more confidence. They've had a lot of growing pains because they have a brick and mortar shop and they've just been doing a lot of things, and you know, they have a family to deal with as well. So I hope, because I do think this is one of the best book boxes, self-care boxes, lifestyle boxes, all wrapped into one that's out there. There's so much customization involved, which is one of the reasons the shipping process is so complicated, but hopefully they get back to it. So the last that I heard in terms of shipping, I reached out to them at the very beginning of the year. They said April boxes, and that's what I have to share with you today, is the April 2024 box, are starting to ship out today and into the next week, as well as the second batch of August orders. Then May and September were supposed to be curated and items being ordered. They should be shipping out by the end of the month. That's January, so last month. And then I haven't gotten shipping notices, I don't think, for those. And then they'll be packing those, and at the same time Natisha will be working on curating June and October, followed by November and December. So they're working on, you know, front to back there and then back on time. So I think if they can actually honestly get 2 boxes out a month, great. If they are trying to ship on time for 2025, that I think they might take longer to get caught up. So that's why I'm saying more like mid-year, hopefully. Maybe I'm being a little bit over optimistic too, but I do appreciate that she's not just sending out items that she's had sitting on the shelves for a long time. We have seen that she's kind of re-curated boxes to make sure that the items are fresh, to make sure that they are seasonal. You know, even when we're getting a box that was meant to come to us in February, but it shows up in the fall, she's definitely kind of curated around that, which I really do appreciate, and I know it takes a lot of time and effort to do that. But this is what it comes in, is just a simple brown box these days. Once upon a time, when they first got started, like the first couple of years, we got these beautiful full color printed boxes. Maybe they'll go back to that one day, I don't know. Just in case you are interested in trying it out, and maybe I would say maybe wait and see if they do start to get back on track for 2025 and start from there. I do have a code, it's Noel10, that'll save you 10%. They basically have 2 different subscription tiers now. There's the full box and there's the premium box. The major difference there is that there are like 2 extra items in the premium box. So the full box is $56.99 plus $5 in shipping. It's going to include a book. You get to choose from 3 different titles, a 4-ounce candle, and then you choose if you want a craft cocktail mixer, coffee, or tea. And then there are 2 what they used to call like touch items or lifestyle items or self-care items. So there used to be a mini box where you just got 1 of those. And then there's other enhancers, right? Like a bookmark, knowing that part of the proceeds go to supporting a charity. There's a Spotify playlist. There's some recipes. That's in all the boxes. Now for $10 more, so $66.99 plus that same shipping fee. Like I said, in the premium boxes, you get 2 extra items. You get some perineum chocolate and 1 extra touch or lifestyle item. So if that's unclear, I'll try to delineate it for you in the description box below. But like I said, we're just kind of seeing how it goes. I think it is a wonderfully executed box when it is on time. because we get great titles to choose from. I love, like I said, all of the customization of it, but that is probably what makes it so difficult to get out on time, because she's basically curating 3 boxes per month and then having to do those different tiers and then putting it together, everybody's customization choices. So we always get this little pamphlet. So there are some misprints here. It says that it's The Daring Girls, which was a different one, but I actually chose The Sicilian Inheritance by Piazza, who is an author that I've only read when she actually like co-authored with someone. I liked this one much more. Inside we see the different items, and again, they do go with the different senses. So sight obviously is the book, smell is the candle, taste is your coffee, tea, or cocktail mixer, and then for the premium boxes, your chocolate. And then we have the touch items 1, 2, and 3, or 1 and 2 if you are getting the full box. Here's our book cocktail. In this case, it was a drink recipe, a Negroni Spritz, because of course we are in Italy. And then we had a food recipe, lavender shortbread cookies, which I wasn't entirely clear what the connection was there. I don't really remember a lavender shortbread moment. She usually has a Meet the Makers little feature here. Here's our book playlist, and then there is usually a note. Do you have any bookish goals for 2025? On our side, we're continuing to grow our team and get ready for new product launches and perks we have planned for the new year. I really hope they don't do too many new product launches until they get caught up on the subscription. And once that is a well-oiled machine, alongside their candle workshops and things they do at the brick and mortar shop, then add new things. Then add back the special edition boxes that we used to get and love so much. All right, let's see. Let's see what we've got. So here is the book. Now I did notice that we didn't get our Authentic Books seal on the front, which is okay by me just because they usually popped off. I did notice a difference though. We didn't get a tasseled bookmark this time, and I love having all of my hardcover authentic books lined up on my bookshelf, which needs to get replaced this year. But I was a little bit sad to see that they are understandably cutting some costs, or maybe just some time savings by not having the tassel. It says, those who speak little never have regrets, which is Kupika parau maitsi pintin. It's really hard to read the font. I'm sure that it's just supposed to be in Italian, but I have a really hard time reading what it says. Kupika paran maitsi pintin. I don't know. My French brain wants to say pantin. That is from the Sicilian Inheritance. But let me go ahead and read you the blurb for this one. I thought it was really good. I did notice that in the booklet, the blurb that's in here is not for the correct book. So, you know, in catching up, some of their cutting and pasting has gone amiss, because it talks about Daphne's fiance. And I'm like, there's no Daphne in this book. All right, so let's see. This says, Sarah Marsala barely knows who she is anymore after the failure of her business and marriage. On top of that, her beloved great Aunt Rosie passes away, leaving Sarah bereft with grief. But Aunt Rosie's death also opens an escape from her life and a window into the past by way of a plane ticket to Sicily, a deed to a possibly valuable plot of land, and a bombshell family secret. Rosie believes Sarah's great-grandmother Serafina, the family matriarch who was left behind while her husband worked in America, didn't die of illness as family lore has it. She was murdered. Thus begins a twist-filled adventure that takes Sarah all over the picturesque Italian countryside as she races to solve a mystery and learn the story of Serafina, a feisty and headstrong young woman in the early 1900s, thrust into motherhood in her teens, who fought for a better life not just for herself, but for all the women of her small village. Unsurprisingly, the more she challenged the status quo, the more she found herself in danger. As Sarah discovers more about Serafina, she also realizes she is coming head-to-head with the same menacing forces that took down her great-grandmother. At once an immersive, multi-generational mystery and an ode to the undaunted heroism of everyday women, The Sicilian Inheritance is an atmospheric, page-turning delight. So when I read that, I was like, that sounds awesome. First of all, it's atmospheric, and who doesn't love Italy, specifically Sicily? And then, of course, it was also like, I love a multi-generational, like 2-time period split narrative. That sounded great. And there's like a little murder mystery and family secrets. And honestly, this book did not disappoint for me. It seemed like there was a lot of research. It seemed like there was a lot of love for Sicily in here and these small towns, and obviously for women. And I'm not necessarily like a crazy hardcore feminist. I mean, I think as a woman, I'm somewhat of a feminist, but I loved the stories of these women, even though they're fictionalized, and how these women were really kind of running the show. And it was this very special time in history there in Sicily. And then, of course, the personal story of Sara learning more about her aunt and learning more about her culture. And, you know, there's part of it, right, where, you know, like just like people going back to Ireland to find their family history, or to Italy and be like, oh, maybe I own a family plot here, and like they expect all these aunties and uncles to be like, oh, we're so happy to see you. That's kind of silly. But she, the character Sara, is actually pretty realistic, and she actually kind of speaks a little bit of Italian, and she's a chef. She's actually a butcher. So she's pretty tough. It's a good story. There are a couple twists. It wasn't too predictable, so I enjoyed it. All right, so let's see what our candle was. So we do still have our sweet little Authentic Books candle. They do make them in-house. It doesn't say it's about to get literary anymore, which is a bummer. It says this is called... they again have the wrong copy in here, because it says that it is You Don't Know You're Beautiful with scents of daisy and yuzu, but this is actually Rosie's Remedy with sweet lemon and sage rosemary. So Serafina, the great-grandmother, was actually kind of considered a strega, or a witch, because of all of her remedies, and really she was like the women's health doctor, so of course she was evil. So this sounds kind of medicinal in a weird way, but like in a good way, because anything that's like lemony and herbal sounds delicious to me. Oh, that's really nice. It's a little, the lemon makes it a little like soap, like cleaner almost, but the rosemary really comes in there. The sage and the rosemary come in there. So that's actually very nice. Rosie's Remedy, which could be a remedy for, you know, even ailments like the next day when you might have had a little bit too much grappa. Okay, so then for taste number one, I always have it set that I get the cocktail mixer, but there would have been Sunday morning's coffee was an option. They do different flavors, or Big Heart tea. There was a chai, I think, but again, that could be a typo. So if you got this box, if you chose this book way back in like March to get your April box, you know, we're almost lapping ourselves here. Let me know what you got, if you got the coffee or the tea. This looks great though. It's a Negroni Spritz. Like, I'm more of an Aperol Spritz girl, but you know, expand my horizons. It's from Little Saints. It's such a pretty can. It's a Negroni Spritz, and that is what is tied to the drink recipe. So it's just this Negroni Spritz, and then it's equal parts gin, vermouth, and Campari. I am not a big gin person, so I might replace that with a vodka. But of course you can make it really pretty with a little orange twist or rind in there. So I'll put that in my, I like to keep these kinds of mixers in my fridge so that whenever I need a little pick-me-up at the end of the day or the week, they're ready to go. I usually try to, like, these days I do try to drink them in, along with the book, but sometimes I like to make sure that I get to show you not an empty can, right? Also, I do have a couple more boxes from Authentic Books. Like I said, they're working from both directions on the 2024 boxes, so it's not that I don't have May through December. There's a couple other boxes that I have, but I am trying to open them here on the channel in order. If we do start getting some 2025 boxes in, I will pepper those in and try to keep us on time with that. All right, so then for our taste number two, which again is only in the premium boxes, we got from Moonstruck, which is a wonderful chocolate company out of Portland. We got a milk chocolate cinnamon artisan chocolate. So again, this is, it says this bar has a festive combination of cinnamon, roasted almonds, and a dash of vanilla, perfect for any celebration. I'm not really sure why this one either. I would have expected more of like a cannoli bar, like the one that we just got in Fruit for Thought gifts. That would have been kind of fun. But I don't know. I think I would have expected, because she's a chef, right? She has a restaurant. That was her failed business. So I kind of expected a few more like chefy, culinary, Italian things in this box. We did get for touch number one, and again, in the full boxes, you get 2 touches, which sounds kind of funny when I say it that way, but you get 2 touches, and then in the premium box, you get 3 touches. So again, in the premium boxes, for $10 more, $66.99 instead of $56.99, you get an extra touch item and a chocolate bar. So I think for $10 more, it's worth it. So the first item, something that we often get as our first touch item in a Authentic Books box, is this escargot sheet mask. Now, I just threw out a bunch of sheet masks that I realized I'd been like hoarding sheet masks and not using them, and they do have expiration dates. I was like, oh, I should probably use those. But these are great, and I think they're very sleek from Lapkos. It says formulated with an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant-rich snail extract. I still think it's gross. The super ingredient helps strengthen the skin barrier and makes it less susceptible to environmental factors. Maybe this is the restaurant-y part because they're actually calling it escargot. I don't know. Although I think of that as being very French. All right. Maybe if it had been like an olive oil, like sheet mask or bath product, it would have made more sense to me, like soap or something. For touch number 2, again in both premium as well as full boxes, we got lavender bath soak. So there must have been something about lavender that I'm just not remembering, because we also got the recipe for the lavender shortbread. This is an Authentic Books original, so they're doing a lot of in-house product making, which makes sense from a financial standpoint, right? And also just the quality of things as well. Then you know that you're getting like small batch items. Soak and relax with our lavender blend bath salts. These are made with Epsom salts and lavender oil, perfect for any type of soak. And it's funny because they do still list the mini box in here, which would just have one touch item and not have the cocktail mixer, tea or coffee. And I don't think you can actually purchase that on the site anymore. So, but maybe that changed after April. I'm going to be curious to see as we go further into the year. But as far as like the last time I tried, and it's probably been a few months since I've tried, I don't think you can actually craft a mini box. You guys let me know if that's different. Some of you may be grandfathered into other prices which were without the shipping. Or with the shipping included, and nowadays I believe they add the $5 in shipping on top of the $56.99 or the $66.99. But I'll have to go through the process once again, because again, these boxes are sent to me for review, and I customized them so many months ago that I haven't gone through the actual subscribing process in a long time. I do go through the customization process with everybody. But here's our lavender bath salts. You guys know I'm not a bath girly, so these are some things that I usually pass on to people, or I hold on to them for a nice foot soak in the summer months when I'm doing a lot more like hiking and walking around. And then, which I should be doing year round, because I really need to start working out a little bit more. I think I'm so anti New Year's resolutions and like physical fitness goals that I like just let myself be lazy for the rest of January, because I'm like, I'm not going to be like everybody else and do dry January and try to go to the gym every day. That's silly. Like, it's more about being sustainable, and then I just don't go at all. It's like it's worse. It's like me trying to be like indie and cool. I don't know, you guys. Our last item, which is our final touch item, which is just in the premium boxes. It looks like something they also made in-house at Authentic Books. It is the Italia linen spray. It says, inspired by the shores of Italy, our in-house products are always made with the best ingredients and with some much care. I think they mean so much care. The copy editing, maybe not this much. I'm really picky about that because I am a copy editor. But it's really pretty. It's got that like gorgeous, like, you know, Sicilian water coast. There's a little bit of a boat off here in the corner. So we did get 3 items that are made in-house from Authentic Books. So maybe that will help them get caught up, or maybe that actually slows them down. Maybe having to make all of those products, you know, that takes up space in their workshop. So maybe to get caught up, they need to purchase a few more items to take that off of their plate. I don't know. I don't mind a box that has a lot of in-house made products, because I do think Authentic Books does a good job with their bath and body products and their candles especially. But I hope that it doesn't go too far in that direction, and I hope that they find that nice balance where they're not slowing down their shipments because they have to make so many products themselves. You know, sometimes it makes sense to just go to a wholesaler. All right, so let's see what it smells like though. Ooh, it's like there's something. It smells kind of lemony and kind of sweet, maybe a little fruity. This is gonna sound weird. It smells like a light cough syrup, but in a nice way. I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, it kind of has like a sweet berry kind of scent to it. I'm not sure what it is exactly because they didn't tell us, and I'm not sure. It doesn't make me necessarily think of the shores of Italy, but the label is beautiful. and it's a nice, sweet linen spray. I'd probably use it as a room spray more than a linen spray, honestly, because it's a little on the sweet side for me personally. But I did think it was a good book if you are interested in reading it, if you love those kind of mysteries and family, you know, two timeline stories. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And I did think the box was good, even though it was very, very late. The candle and the chocolate, always my favorites, but you guys let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. Do we have hopes? Let's start to take a poll. When do we think Authentic Books is going to be all caught up with 2024? And do we think that they're going to stay on track for 2025? Because I hope that they're not going to only start sending out 2025 boxes once they get caught up with 2024, because that's just never going to solve the problem. Thanks so much for being here, you guys. I will see you all very, very soon in my next unboxing.